Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Been kind of quiet post-spring practice. We expected maybe a little bit of chaos via the transfer portal. Didn't really get that. The only casualty so far was Elijah Herring looking for playing time. A lot of times people say when a guy enters the portal, oh, it's all about money. Oh, he's looking for money, Boogie. He's trying to go get that bag. That's not always the case. Sounds like Elijah Herring wanted to be the one, and he was going to be in the two deep. He was going to be a factor in this defense, but he was ultimately looking for playing time, and I wish Elijah Herring the best of luck wherever he ends up. Jason Jenkins, a defensive lineman, teased that he was going to be entering the portal. However, his name never officially went in. Must have sat down, had some conversations with Coach Garner. Coach Heupel elects to stay at Tennessee. Jason Jenkins is a guy that I'm glad to have back on this football team. We'll see how much he factors into the rotation, if at all, in 2024. But you got to realize, you look at the offensive line, you look at the defensive line, all those COVID seniors that elected to come back are going to be gone in 2025. And that's when I think guys like Jason Jenkins can have an opportunity to contribute to this football team. But we've suffered another casualty today. A Vols defensive back has declared they are entering the transfer portal. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But I need you guys to do all that YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not reporters. We're not journalists. We don't pretend to be any of that. We don't break news. We talk about it. That's what this channel is all about. For the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Right now, we're live every Tuesday night. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing NCAA football, but also talking all things Tennessee football. We're going to sprinkle in some recruiting live streams. We're going to do some film breakdown live streams, so make sure that bell is rung so you don't miss out when we go live. But let's jump into it. Let's talk about Christian Conor, sophomore defensive back. I have entered the transfer portal with 3 years of eligibility remaining. It says here, I'd like to thank Coach Heupel and the University of Tennessee for the chance to play in the SEC. I appreciate the support of the coaching staff, my teammates, and fans. Thank you, Vol Nation. Now, the first thought that went through my mind was, does Christian Conor end up back at Kentucky? Kentucky very deep in his recruitment. He was one of the highest-rated players coming out of the state of Kentucky last cycle in the class of 2023. But you just realize that post-spring, if you transfer within the SEC, you're going to have to sit out a year. So it'll be interesting to follow Christian Conor, see where he ends up. But kind of strange to me, because we know the secondary has got to improve, right? We've got to get better in the secondary in 2024, year 4 of the Josh Heupel era. And I talked about it just this morning, talking about the NFL draft and Tennessee's opportunities moving ahead, where their roster's at, where their talent level's at. If you missed that video, go back and give it a watch. I did a deep dive on the number of players Tennessee has had drafted versus the college football playoff contenders. Very interesting, but something I talked about in that video is this Tim Banks defense getting better year in and year out. And I know I've said it time and time again, points per game, 90th in the country year 1, 23rd in the country just a year ago. This defense has gotten better. And sometimes we make the secondary the scapegoat, right? They're absolutely terrible. They were 5th in the conference in total yards allowed and 5th in the conference in passing yards allowed per game. A lot better on, the ground defense, 2nd in the conference in rushing yards allowed per game. And I think the front end, I think the defensive line is going to make the secondary a little bit better. But when we look at the transfer portal casualties, the guys that went in prior to spring camp, a lot of guys in the secondary, right? Wesley Walker, Tamarian McDonald, Danico Slaughter, Deshaun Rucker, Jack Luttrell, Brandon Turnage, Warren Burrell, a lot of guys that played a lot of football for Tennessee had declared that they were going to be entering the transfer portal. So Christian Conor is a guy that you were kind of hoping would come along, right, and kind of be able to contribute. If you go back to that class, it was Ricky Gibson, it was Jordan Matthews, and it was Christian Conor, and they were 3 really good corners that this coaching staff liked a lot. So when you look ahead, you go look at the depth chart, and I think this may just be a case of Christian Conor kind of being buried here on the depth chart. You went and you added Jermod McCoy, and I think he's going to be your starter right there alongside Ricky Gibson. So when you look to the 2 deep, it sounds like Jordan Matthews was kind of that guy. It seems like he maybe beat out Christian Conor, and then Tennessee goes and gets Jalen McMurray from Temple. And that's the guy that kind of surprises me, and this is just a projected depth chart. This is nothing official. This is no guarantees, but it shows Jalen McMurray in the 2 deep. We saw him in the orange and white game. It sounds like he had a good spring camp. Does that translate to year 4? Does that translate to the 2024 season? We'll see how it plays out. But I thought Christian Conor was a guy that could maybe push there for that second spot in the secondary. But he has made it official. Christian Conor is going to be entering the transfer portal. I want to hear from you guys. Are you concerned? Are you worried? Because one of the conversations we've been having is about depth in the secondary. And Christian Conor only played in one game a year ago. He played against Connecticut on homecoming, had one tackle in the game, doesn't have a lot of experience. I know he said he had 3 years of eligibility, but I would imagine that he would be able to count this 2023 year as a redshirt year, and I would think he would have 4 years of eligibility. But we'll see how that shakes out for Christian Conor. But are you worried about depth in the secondary? Because all the guys that transferred out, and I know, we're hoping guys like Boo Carter are going to be able to contribute at that star position. I think you're going to start off the season, and you're probably going to see Jordan Thomas as the star position, and maybe Boo Carter in the 2 deep. Will Brooks is a guy with a lot of veteran leadership ability. He's a guy that's played a lot of football, even though he's a walk-on. But is it a concern? I want you guys to jump in the comment section and talk about it. Not a long video today. Just wanted to jump out and get this update out. If you missed the video this morning, go back and give it a watch. But you can help me out by smashing the thumbs up just below the video. Also, go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. You can do that at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link's also in the description below. Shout out to all the members of the channel. Could not do this without you. If you want to be a part of that, hit the join button over there beside subscribe. It's $1. It's $1 a month. Access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But we say for the fans, by the fans. It's also fan-funded. Could not do this without you. But that is going to do it for this one. Let's talk about it in the comment section, because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.